Hey everybody, it's Kathy. Sorry for the way I look today. I'm at work. It's Saturday and I just threw my hair in a ponytail because that's what I felt like doing today. Anyway, so I wanted to talk today about moisturizers. There's been a lot of questions coming to me, and I know Wayne Goss kind of gave his opinion, and I love Wayne. If you have been living under a rock for YouTube and don't know who I'm talking about, he is a makeup artist, and his channel is awesome. He gives great information. It's because of him, actually, that I found out about a lot of different products that I'm now loving. So anyway, I'll put his link below too, but he talked about that he doesn't believe that everybody needs moisturizer, and it kind of, a lot of people, I read some of the comments back to him after he said that, and a lot of people commented back that they disagreed and that moisturizer is very important. So I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth for what it's worth to you. And as a trained esthetician, we are taught that everybody needs moisturizer, that everybody benefits from it. So my opinions I'm going to give you now aren't just as an esthetician, they're my personal opinions as well. So this is what I believe, having done a lot of studies outside of aesthetic school. And there are a lot of cosmetic lines that actually, and doctors, dermatologists that actually agree with this, and this is where I got it from. So if you look at a baby, those of you out there who've had babies, we don't moisturize their skin because their lipid barrier is completely intact. Their skin is functioning at the best it's going to function probably their entire life when they're a baby. Everything's working well. We don't use soap on their face either, at least you're not supposed to. And all you do is rinse with water and it's fine. And they have that beautiful radiant skin, nice and plump, and it's not dry, it doesn't flake, except for maybe when they're first born because they're shedding that skin. But so to me, that's kind of a clue as to how does healthy skin function. Healthy skin produces a certain amount of oil that creates the lipid barrier that keeps things out and keeps everything nice and smooth the way it's supposed to be. What happens is as we age, go through puberty, any different thing that affects our bodies, internally, externally, they can be environmental issues as well as internal issues, sickness and whatever. All of those things have an effect on the skin. When you go through puberty, you get tons of oil. Now, this is where it gets complicated because the skin has 2 different properties that are involved when you're talking about dry. There's oil dry and moisture dry. One of them leads to dehydration when there's not enough moisture. Lipid, oil dry, that's when you're not secreting enough oil. So they're 2 separate things. And what I like to use as an analogy for that is, what do you call it? Sun-dried tomatoes. I couldn't think for a second. Sun-dried tomatoes. If you ever bought them, they come in a jar in lots of oil, but they're kind of shriveled up. That's because they are water dry, but they are in oil. So you see how it takes both. Tomatoes that are hydrated are plump and firm, right? The dehydrated ones in oil are completely dehydrated, but they're in oil, and the oil does not bring back the hydration. So it takes 2 things to have healthy skin. You need the moisture hydration and you need the oil, both. So somebody who has really oily skin, if they still have dehydrated skin, in other words, usually somebody with oily skin, if their skin is dehydrated, it usually comes from something they are doing externally, such as using too strong of a cleanser, scrubbing too much, using alcohol. Any of those things can just suck the moisture right out of the skin. In that case, those people could use some moisturizer. And they're best with an oil-free one because their sebaceous glands are still working, so they're getting plenty of oil. They need to replace the hydration. My opinion, though, with oily skin people is they're better off looking to what they're doing that's stripping the hydration in the first place. I usually counsel them to change cleansers, do not use soap, go with something milder. So don't strip that moisture out to begin with. Instead, be more gentle on the cleanse, and then you may not end up needing moisturizer. So that's an oily skin person who's dehydrated. Now, if you've got an oily skin person whose skin is nice and hydrated and they've got the oil, you're absolutely, Wayne, power to you, man. He's absolutely right. You don't have to have moisturizer on your skin. I still believe you should be using anti-aging serums, the things that are sinking into the dermis to feed it to prevent the aging. But moisturizer? No, you don't have to have it. You don't have to use it. Sunscreen? Yep, use that, please. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the person who is Oil dry, that's what we usually think about when we think of somebody with dry skin. So when somebody asks, when you go to a professional to get a facial or you go to a cosmetic counter to buy skincare and they ask you, is your skin dry, normal, oily, combination, whatever, they are always referring to the oil part because that's the part that's not so affected by exterior things going on. That's how your skin is. Usually it's hereditary and it changes with age. So if you have really dry skin, you're going to need both something that's hydrating, because when you don't have oil on your skin, you evaporate a lot more of the moisture. So you end up losing both the hydration and the lipid barrier. So you definitely are going to be needing a moisturizer, and depending how dry you are, you may be needing a moisturizer with oil in it. Everybody's so afraid of oil nowadays, but actually that's what our skin has naturally in it. There's nothing wrong with oil unless you are acne prone. So don't be afraid of oils, ladies, especially if you're over 40, over 45, and you're starting to notice that your skin just is a lot drier and it doesn't, and it gets red more easily. It gets like dry, patchy rashes and things. You've probably got a lipid barrier problem, and that's where oil is going to come in handy. So I just want you to keep those things in mind when you're thinking about your skin, and know that it's something that's going to change over the years. It's, I used to have oily skin. That's why I have fairly large pores. Now my skin is very dry. It's because of aging. So, so yes, to Wayne Goss and all those people that wrote in saying, oh no, you need moisturizer, you're all right in a way. You just have to keep in mind what your skin is doing at the moment. And if you are an oily skin person and you find that after you wash your face, because this is something one of the girls wrote in to Wayne, she said after she washes her face, she's very oily skin, but after she washes her face, she just can't get that moisturizer on quick enough because her face feels really tight. That's a big, huge warning sign. That's what I tell my clients. If you want to know if the cleanser you're using is right for you, wash your face with it, wait 10 minutes, don't do anything, no moisturizer, nothing, and see how you feel. If after 10 minutes you really need to moisturize because you feel really tight, that means your cleanser is too strong, okay? So for that person that wrote to Wayne, please change your cleanser. If you are oily skin and you're only using moisturizer because of tightness, it's because of your cleanser. So that's it. I hope this doesn't confuse you more. I have to keep these videos really short right now because I have a 10-minute limit. I hope that will be changing soon so that I can give better explanations. I feel like I'm always rushing through these and then I get a lot of questions because I didn't explain it well enough. So sorry, I'm doing the best I can. And please though, go ahead and just write your questions because I know there's going to be a lot of things that I didn't cover very well. But I hope that helps, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Bye.